My sister was shot in the chest and left to die in a hotel room. She was 41 years old. She wasn't perfect. Who is? She struggled with drug addiction, but she didn't deserve to be murdered. I grew up in a beautiful city, Duluth, Minnesota, with a sister part-time. Our mom was a single mom. She had been married and divorced twice. We had different dads, so I had my sister half of the time, and I was an only child the other half of the time. Kim and I were 7.5 years apart, so you can imagine the difference growing up. These three beautiful humans are our children. My sister made me an aunt when I was 15, and again when I was 17. She had a drug problem before she got pregnant, but she got clean, and she loved her babies enormously. And then she was by my side when I had the little guy up there. She loved him just as much. Now my niece is having babies. These are her two beautiful pumpkins. She made me a great auntie, and I know that my sister would have loved these babies. Kimberly's generous spirit emanated through the world, through her beautiful blue eyes and her giant smile. But she had a secret, dark side, her life of addiction. So much is unknown about the day she died, but this is what I think happened. I think she owed a man money, and to get that money back, he sent 2 gang members to collect. At least one of them brought a gun. And when my sister fought back, they shot her and ran. In response, I wasn't shocked. I saw it coming. I just didn't know how she would die. Instead of being shocked and unable to move, I actually snapped into action, but not the kind of action you would expect for me to be here to talk about today. It was protecting my family and myself. So for the next 9 years, I did a very inward kind of move. I worked through forgiveness. I made sure that her babies were taken care of. And then Parkland. And like so many others that I see at Moms Demand Action meetings, I was snapped into a new kind of action. I knew I had to move beyond myself and my own family. So I trained in the Be Smart program, which is a parent education program to make sure that kids do not get their hands on guns. I educated myself on gun violence restraining orders, also known as red flag laws. And empowered with all of this information, I went to my first rally. And I was so brave, and I stood up to some gun owners that were there and said, "Can you please just promise me that your guns are locked up?" And there was a man that could not make that promise. In fact, he said to me, "Have you ever had to put your kids in a bathtub?" Does that seem like an odd question to you? I figured out later that he too was a survivor of gun violence, and that's how he protected his kids. He put them in a bathtub to protect them from flying bullets. This is an emotional issue, and we all respond differently, but it's all about the kids. So I'll finish up quickly. My next big event was Wear Orange Day. We decorated the Cardiff Kook. I hosted one of 6 orangeade stands in North County. We honored victims of gun violence and we educated our neighbors. We had face painting and rock painting, and there was a message of solidarity and of love. At the same time, I was drafting a resolution on gun violence prevention at Palomar UU Fellowship, and it came up for a vote, and it was unanimous that we should work on this issue. So next is the November election, and I am a 100% gun sense voter. None of my candidates will have taken money from the NRA. All of my action is fueled by love, and I believe that grief is unspent love. God, do I have a lot of that. And so did my sister. So I am spending her love and mine. Thank you.